You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
You pay like $700 a month or a year for that card.
Oh, I see.
Your yearly
annual
fee. Yeah. And that savings makes up almost half that.
No, it was huge.
I mean, I guess that's their whole perk. We learned.
Hi, everybody.
We read a whole case in Antitrust about
Antitrust.
Yes, I said it right.
That's it.
About Antitrust.
Antitrust.
No, I was saying Antitrust before, and you were like Antitrust.
I don't sound like that.
We read a whole case with the federal government brought a suit against Amex.
Really?
Because
I love Amex. What was the issue with Amex?
The whole thing was their because it was like about their whole business model. This isn't an ad for Amex, but their whole business model is like
company
consumer benefits at the cost of merchant fees, right?
What's wrong with that?
No, well, nothing on the face of it, but so merchants, right, like have to pay a lot more money for Amex cards than Discover, Visa, MasterCard.
Right, 'cause they protect the consumer.
Right, and then they offset those costs by giving rewards to customers to keep us. It's like called an indirect network effect or whatever, because like the more people that are part of Amex and the more merchants that are part of Amex, the better it becomes for both merchants and
better
consumers.
buying power, so to speak. But that happens all
And
the
more
time
value for both. But the issue is that
that's the same thing.
Amex has anti-steering rules that they call up. That's what they call it in like economics terms, where Amex makes it, if once you as a merchant join accept Amex, you agree in the contract or whatever it is that you're not allowed to say you accept Amex, and then once the point of sale comes and I go to pay with my Amex, you say, actually, can you pay with a Discover card or a MasterCard or a Visa, right? Like stores were steering people away from paying Amex, and Amex then would cancel you. You wouldn't be allowed to.
Okay.
It was an anti-steering rule. So they were saying that's a restraint of trade. And so it's like falls under the Antitrust Act, but the government found that the benefits outweighed, like the pros outweighed the cons of Amex's whole business model, so they allowed it. So Amex still does that. If you are a store that accepts Amex, you are not legally, but with your contract,
they want
with
you to
Amex,
push Amex.
Not even push. You're just not allowed to dissuade someone from not using Amex.
Right. Good luck proving that too, though.
Yeah.
But Amex is if you're in litigation dispute an Amex, I've had clients that.
What a boring way to start this episode. Sorry, guys.
Not really. I have clients that didn't pay Amex bills, and like if you ever cancel your Amex card, or you settle with them, you'll never get another Amex card. They'll
settle with them.
Like if you own $50,000, you settle for $20,000. They'll pull your card, and you'll never get another Amex card.
Yeah,
interesting. So what do we got on the topics today?
How are you? First of all,
I'm good, buddy. I feel like I know we always say this, but it's been a week.
I saw you 7 days ago, and you were like, "Oh my God, I miss you. I haven't seen you in so long."
When did I see you 7 days ago?
When did I see you 7 days ago? 7 days ago.
Okay, why is this?
What do you mean? I was up here with the puppies for the whole day.
Oh, that's right, a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice. A week, not seeing you for a week. You're a busy man now. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, okay. Same.
Is it a bad thing? We love our kids?
No, I'm not complaining about it, but it's just...
and it's nice
I
to see
think we've
Hannah
set the expectations to...
Who's we?
Me and Bryson, by living close to you and seeing you. So remember, there was one point where I lived far away from you, and I would see you like 4 or 5 times a year.
And we told people we had 2 kids.
Well, your third son that's the same place now.
Not Burke. We always have Burke.
You know what I mean? The expectations have changed because I used to see you once every 3-4 months. So then if I didn't see you in a week, you didn't even think about it. But now that I see you every week, if I don't see you in a week, you're like, oh my God,
we're not like that.
You're like, my son forgot about it.
All right. First of all, relax. You're not God, but we
No, you did say that last week.
Love our
I didn't
kids.
see you, and you were like,
well, we like to see our kids. Listen, I could be dead tomorrow. That's Jewish guilt. I'm joking.
Well, of course.
No, we love seeing them. I think it's a good thing. Isn't it better that
I'm not complaining?
I know
about
you're
it.
not complaining. I know people who parents don't even want to see their kids. So I think it's a nice thing that we want to see you guys.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yes, thank you.
So
glad to be here.
How is everything?
Good.
Good week?
Yeah. Same, like school, same old. We read an Amex case.
Yeah.
School's good. Classes are good.
And the wedding
I go on break next week.
Go on break and that's for
it's like
Jewish
fall
holidays.
break. That's what they call it, but it coincides with the Jewish holidays.
Wednesday to Wednesday.
It's actually because it's Thursday, but my class is canceled on Thursday because the professor's Jewish. So it's Thursday to the following Monday because I don't have class on Fridays either.
So wait, it's 10 days you're off?
It's really the 5 days, the Monday through Friday of the 3rd through the 7th or whatever it is.
Wow. So you
but
got a long
because I
break.
don't have Friday school ever and Thursday my professor's Jewish, so she canceled class. So I don't even have class Thursday.
So you leave Wednesday
night because I have class Wednesday morning.
And you come back the following weekend.
No. I'm coming back Wednesday. So I'm gone for 7 days. That's it. 6 days.
Okay. And when are you? We got to do another pod then, or we can do it remotely.
We can do it remotely, I guess. Yeah, I'll bring the mic with me. I'm going to LA.
All right.
Who care?
All right. Good.
Yeah.
And everything's good.
Yeah.
How was Julie's birthday yesterday?
Julia's Bryce's girlfriend.
Right.
For those
yeah.
listening.
Nice time. Went in the boat.
Yeah, you went on a boat with a bunch of people. You got a little color.
Nice people. Yeah, you do.
It's funny when people say you got color.
You got nice people.
Yeah, we knew most of them. It's like our friends, you know.
Gotcha.
Or not some of our friends, some of her friends.
Gotcha. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good. See people twerking on the other boats.
Black women.
Yeah. Funniest thing.
But they're like, whenever you see black women on a boat, you're like, I'm jealous. Like I want them to be on our boat
because
they're always having fun. They're never not having fun. Black guys never having fun, or it doesn't look like it. Or like if you go to a club, black guys are just standing there like this, standing, looking around. They don't dance, they don't sing, they just kind of stand there. Black women are like, you're jealous about how much fun they're having, or at least it seems like
interesting.
that. Speaking of black people and us talking about black people, there's a video from a while back that got like the algorithm picked it up again or something about. Do you remember? Honestly, shouldn't have probably posted this, but it was a clip of us being like trying to think of attractive black women and we couldn't. There's a clip of that.
All right.
The only person we could at first, after a little while we did, but you were like, oh, so-and-so. And she was like Miss America from the 80s.
Yeah, I forget her
name. Yeah, but
name.
it's like, so the only black woman.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Her too.
I think it's
Nicole
also just
Campbell, right? Is that her name? The model?
Naomi Campbell.
Naomi, she's attractive.
Yeah, there's a lot. But I posted that clip, and that was like 2 years ago.
The one also, you know, who's also attractive, the one who was in the zombie one, and she was in the cat. She was in Rent, the movie Rent.
I don't think she's that attractive.
She's attractive.
Her name is. She's got a weird name. She's married to Cory Booker, who's a liberal. He's like a very liberal senator.
Okay.
Her name is Rosario Dawson.
She's not ugly. Let's put it that way.
She's not ugly, but she kind of looks like a fish a little bit.
A fish, interesting.
Yeah. Zoe Saldana is an attractive black woman.
Which one's that one?
Garden of Galaxy, and also in Avatar. Even though she doesn't.
Something about her is like hot.
Well, she's a great actress too. But so that video got picked up by like black women on algorithm, and they're freaking out. Can
you show me some of it?
Some of the comments
of the free. Oh, they just comment.
People are commenting like, why are you talking about us? No one asked you.
Is that how they sound?
Yeah, they're black women.
Wow.
There's also another a video that I posted. Let me see.
Wow. I'm not getting any of the videos you're posting, Bron. Isn't that weird?
On TikTok?
Yeah, I'm not getting. Well, I'm not on TikTok.
Oh, well then.
But shouldn't it come on Instagram and everything?
I don't post all of them on Instagram. TikTok I post every day. Instagram I post once a week.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's just different things. Let me see if I can find any of the comments. But there's another video that I posted. There's a video that I posted last week of when you were like, Kamala's father's a socialist or a Marxist, and we've never gotten so many comments against you in one video. It went like almost viral. There's 600,000 views or something on that video. And
I don't see any of it.
So many of the comments you are getting destroyed in the comments. It's actually really fun. It's funny to be me and reading them because everyone is like, wow, I feel so bad for him. Imagine having him as your dad. Like, people are dragging you.
Imagine those fucking people be fucking happy and worship the shit. They'd love to be in your fucking shoes. You kidding me?
I mean, still, look, this is just in the last hour. People are commenting on the video of you saying that her father's a Marxist.
But he is.
The uneducated trying to diss the educated is so fun. And that was an hour ago. Her father teaches Marxist. He does. What college? IDK, look it up. Lost all credibility in the argument since obvious he didn't bother to look it up. Like,
Okay,
they're getting.
these are fucking idiots. tell them they got to get off their shit.
I'm sure this man went to Trump University. These are all within the last hour.
Right, but you know what I say about most of these people? Tell them that their break from their shift to what is it? The break at McDonald's. If they have their 10-minute break, tell them to go back to the fucking register.
What's wrong with working at
I'm
McDonald's?
just saying. Oh, you going down that road?
What if that? Why?
I'm just saying. Okay, I take it back.
That's not right to.
You're right.
To demean
right.
someone's job. It's
No,
a job.
they're putting me
At
down.
least they're working.
No, they're putting
No,
me
but
down.
you put yourself out there by saying. I mean,
Okay,
to be fair, do you want to watch that video back? Because you do, like, it is not, like, you do make a fool of yourself a little bit.
All right.
Because that was the whole, we got into an argument where it was like, you're being unfair. And we were like, I don't care about being fair. But you say, her dad's a Marxist teacher. And I was like, how do you know this? And you're like, look it up. And then I look it up and you're like, well, how do you know? And you said, I was reading out her things, his classes, and you were like, those are just conclusory statements. And I wish I said this then, because now watching back, it's like, yeah, but you made a conclusory statement. You said her father's a Marxist, and you didn't have anything to back it up. At least a conclusory statement that they're making, it's from the source.
Okay, he's still a Marxist. You want to bet?
Well, he teaches Marxist philosophy.
Okay.
Doesn't make you... If you teach
World
War II,
again about
you're not a
Kamala's
Nazi.
fucking father, how she was raised by a woman in a middle-aged fucking lifestyle. I mean, the whole Kamala thing.
Middle class.
Middle class. I mean, come on, please. And I don't really give a fuck. I never care what people thought, so it doesn't matter.
No, it's just you were getting dragged in those comments.
That's okay. It's all good. It's not going to change my life.
Yeah, fair. Okay, we can move on to something else, I guess. Who's your favorite female artist? Like of the modern era, not.
I don't know. I never thought about it.
You went to her concert. You like her whole style, her
Lana
music.
Del Rey?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's like had such a weird thing
Right.
too, right? She got married. She started dating like a few months ago. A middle-aged guy from Louisiana or something.
How old is she?
I don't know.
Okay.
Who is an alligator tour guide. That's his job. He's
Did
not
she work in the motel?
She worked at a Waffle House.
Yeah, okay.
So she started dating this guy, and he's just like a random ass, like just a random guy from this random town. And his job is he's a tour guide for airboat rides.
Okay.
They started dating, and everybody's like, this is bizarre. And it was a few months ago, and they got married over the weekend. Full on married. And people have seen them in New Orleans and like this weekend, and people like went up to ask for a picture with her, and she was like, oh, sorry. My husband doesn't like when I take pictures with people, so I don't do that anymore.
That's strange.
Yeah. The whole thing's strange. It's just weird. Like she is odd. She does odd shit.
She has issues.
She does odd shit. She's like a beautiful young woman, and she just married this like hillbilly.
Let me say.
That's him. Weird, right? Let me see.
He looks much older than her.
He's a lot old. He is a lot older than her. Yeah, this is him in his alligator tour guide thing, I guess. See, this is a picture from their wedding. This was a few days ago.
She's pretty and has the money.
Yeah, it's
What's
bizarre.
The deal with that? He's much older than her.
Yeah, he's old, and he's an alligator wrangler. But people were like, "Oh, this is like people were like celebrating this because they're like, this is what women actually want. They want like
they want that.
They want just like a real man, and women who aren't who like women convince themselves otherwise. But Lana Del Rey knows what's up.
I do tend to agree that women convince themselves otherwise, but that's the real man because he does airboat roads and watches.
Yeah, I mean he's like a wilderness guy, I guess.
And he make $8?
And he controls her. Oh well, but
he runs her ass.
Is that a real man? The amount of money you make? I don't know.
No, but I think that you aspire to want to better. I think and I think there's something related to your work and what you want to achieve and attain. I think there's some manliness and self-worth to that.
Yeah, in some cultures, in some circles.
Well, I'm talking about here.
Yeah, but
in America,
in like
people want
Louisiana, I don't know if that's the mark of manhood. The mark of manhood might be just like you protect me. That might be like the main thing.
You can still protect
Like
you.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people who are a lot of men who are extremely successful and extremely high earning and high achievers that Zerai could beat up because they wouldn't be able to protect their wife at all.
All right, let me know how it works out for her.
No, but I mean, of course, it's a balance. I think, but there's different types of manhood. Like a farmer, right? We think of like a farmer as wow, that's like Outer Range, right? Like Josh Brolin in Outer Range, he's a man. He doesn't make a lot of money at all. But we think of that as like a man. He wakes up early. He does what he needs to do. He has a gun on his hip. He doesn't take no shit. But he doesn't make any money, and he doesn't aspire to more. He's happy. He's content with the level of life that he has.
Nobody works hard. I don't know. He
works hard.
Listen.
But he doesn't make a lot of money.
Listen, I think there's a interesting thing to say, I'm going to be an airboat driver. I don't know. For me,
it worked for her. He bagged Lana Del Rey.
Let's see how it works.
Yeah.
I think she's got issues. A screw is loose with her.
Oh, definitely. It's got to be.
And
but that's what makes good for good music.
And let's see what happens in a year or two from now.
Yeah.
And how they even meet.
I mean, maybe they met at the Waffle House when she was the waitress.
Maybe.
Yeah. Bizarre.
Strange.
She's bizarre, but hey, at least she's interesting. Her artist life is interesting.
She's talented, but that's a weird thing.
Yeah.
And she lives where now?
New Orleans.
All right.
New Orleans.
Oh my God.
Who was just telling me this? Someone on the boat yesterday, and I held myself back, which I'm proud of. I felt like that was real growth because a few years ago I would have just blurted out. Although it wasn't that bad, but someone on the boat yesterday, I forget who it was like, "Oh yeah, my sister just started at Tulane," and I wanted to say like I wanted to say like your sister's gonna get like destroyed by frat guys, and it's gonna she's gonna be ruined.
Why say that?
I didn't say that.
I know, but
that's just what came into my mind.
Tulane.
No. I would never send a daughter of mine to Tulane or any really like Big Ten school, to be honest. Like I would never send a daughter of mine to Alabama. Forget about it. But at least like Alabama's pretty. Tulane, New Orleans is like a shithole.
It's gross.
Like I would never send.
But the girls love it.
I know, but that's troublesome.
If
you meet a girl, if I meet a girl now and she's like, I love going to Tulane, I'd be like, something's wrong with you. But either you're a whore or you're disgusting. You know what I mean? Because one of those
are some serious accusations.
That's all that there is at Tulane. It's just you're either getting dicked down or you're living in squalor because you're in New Orleans. So it's like if you're a woman and a guy, one thing, right? It's if you're a guy and you like living in squalor, it's like, yeah, of course, that's what college guys do. But a college girl, why would you ever want to live in New Orleans?
He's a grosser of a.
But I held myself back. I didn't say this to her.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
That is gross.
I really wanted to say I would never send my daughter to New Orleans.
But you can't do that because if they're already going there.
I didn't say it.
Like, no, I
held myself back.
Like someone says, I name my kid so and so, and like I hate that name. It's already too late. What's the point?
Exactly. And so I thought that. The thought came into my head, then the second thought of, wait, don't say that. That's rude.
Yes.
It's already done. And then I held it back.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
I'm proud of myself for that one.
Is that Hannah's doing or you're doing?
Probably her doing.
Yes.
Because she would have hit me if I said it.
Already.
Not a real hit, but she would have been like, why would you say that?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And then I would have been like, shit, you're right. I shouldn't have said that.
Mom, times I got kicked under the table. Then I realized it's like 15 years later, I just say, stop kicking me under the table. So she stopped.
I mean, like if in that situation I said that and then Hannah later was like, why would you say that? You shouldn't have said that. I would have been like, you're right. I shouldn't have said that. That was wrong of me. So now I just do it in my own head.
Proud of you, Ronnie.
Thank you.
A lot of growth.
You hear about all the Eric Adams shit? The mayor of New York?
Oh, yeah. So that's a problem. Now, do you think it's the same thing he did to Cuomo, so to speak?
Probably.
Or you really think he's...
So I think both. I mean,
it's so fucking ridiculous.
So he was indicted, and apparently he's like going to go to jail for all this stuff. But they've been building this case for a while. Like it's just like corruption and misuse of public funds and shit are the charges.
But at least he did do the recycle bin consulting thing.
Yeah. Which plays right into that. We were saying that when we talked about that. We were like, someone's getting paid that they shouldn't.
Yeah, listen, I don't know enough about the indictment. I know there was like not bribery, but like benefits.
Yeah, bribery is one of them. Okay. One of the charges.
But
So I'll tell you a little bit about it, I guess.
He hasn't been in office long.
No, like
2
year
years
or two.
Yeah.
He apparently, and it's like all regarding Turkey and Turkish officials, which is like weird. I don't know what the connection is. Like
why New York? Why is that?
Why Turkey and New York City? It's not even New York State.
Right.
It's New York City. I don't know, but apparently he was like because everything that he does as in the scope of his public office is paid for by the taxpayer dollars, So apparently he was flying
Business
to Turkey a lot,
somewhere.
and he was like using Turkish Airways to fly to Turkey, and he had some deal with them or something because he would fly through Istanbul even if he wasn't going anywhere near there. Like there's emails where he was trying to go from
and why was he going to Turkey so much?
well, that's the thing. No, we don't know that yet, but that's what they're going to try to uncover. There must have been something that he was doing with like some corruption within Turkey. He was trying to go from New York to Chile, which is like, fully just almost a straight line down the East Coast. And they have also it's like all in emails too, which is also so stupid. But he asked his assistant, he was like, make sure to connect through Istanbul, which it's like, you're going 30 hours out of the way.
Why do you think? Maybe he has a family there, a girl he's
And then whenever he would be in Turkey, there were all these emails between his staffers that some assistant was like, is that like replying to an email about booking him at the Four Seasons or something. And
how can he afford it? He makes what, 150,000,
and it's all paid for. If he's on like an official thing or whatever, it's paid for. But
why would a New York have official business out of the country?
No, it makes no sense. New York City.
It's just he's the mayor.
Yeah.
So what would he have out of the country?
Yeah.
Let alone out of a different state. Who the fuck gives a fuck about dealing with a mayor from another city?
I mean, New York City is a big deal, but there's nothing within the job description that you have to do with other countries. But so there are emails where the assistant would be like, "Is this not too expensive?" And then the chief of staff would be like, "Don't worry, like I can get the exact emails up because they're all like also so stupid that they put them all in emails." And then he would reply back to the emails. He would be like, "Make sure to delete this," and then the chief of staff would be like, "Don't worry, I always do."
Oh my god!
Well, why are they putting that in emails?
That's dumb.
Let me see if I can get it.
That's fucking dumb.
It's so stupid. How are they that stupid that if you're in public office?
Listen, this is who they vote.
But it's like if I was the mayor and I wanted to be corrupt and do this, and you were my chief of staff, I would be like, I would tell you face to face. I wouldn't do it in text. I'm not that dumb.
Well, you're dealing with dumb people.
No, I don't think. You think he's dumb? I don't think he's dumb. You're like that. That's not.
Obviously, he is dumb. Dumb
No,
to do it.
or just overlooked.
Stupid.
Or think you're above it. You can be smart and be like, I
That's
can get
true.
away with this. Let me see if I can get some of this up.
Unbelievable. So he's going to go to jail, huh?
Probably. And then it's also like, why did they just decide to bring this now, Oh, here, this is, the staffer says, he's asking where else they can go in Turkey. Do you have a recommendation? This is from the indictment, straight up. The airline manager said the Four Seasons. The staffer said, it's too expensive. The manager said, why does he care? He's not going to pay. His name will not be on anything either. The staffer said, super. Like, these are emails that they have.
That's weird.
And also, why why is he going to Turkey? Let's see what else. Well, what did I just do?
You get everything on Twitter, huh?
Yeah. This says, no, that's not what I wanted. I can't find any of these now.
So he's still in office, though, right now?
Yeah. And he did like a speech and people went and protested.
I saw
him.
they went crazy.
Yeah. Like black people were going
black
crazy.
people.
Which I guess like hurts to them more because they're like, you know.
I hear you, but.
Like if there was a Jewish, a prominent.
Like Madoff, what Madoff did.
Yeah, or just especially now, if there was like a prominent Jewish politician now, and then he was like doing corruption shit, I'd be like, bro, you just fucked us as a people.
I get it.
So much.
And then then let's talk about the shipping issue. That's a big issue.
I don't know anything about that.
That's a big issue.
What is going on?
They're going to strike along the whole, all the ports, they say, on Tuesday.
Why?
All the shipping ports. They want more money. And that's going to be really, really detrimental. I mean, severely detrimental. That'll put a halt on things. I don't think it helps the Democratic Party. It's so close to the election because it's going to make cost of, if they, first of all, they give an increase.
That could put a nail in the coffin.
Right. So first of all, it's going to be detrimental to getting supplies, gas, food, materials. Then if they increase their salaries, it's going to increase the cost of goods further. It's a big problem. I mean,
is it every dot like? So when you say dock,
if you pull up,
yeah,
it could show you the.
This says
the port.
25,000 dock workers at East Coast and Gulf Coast ports from Boston to Houston could strike as early as October 1st. Their union has been in contract talks with the U.S. Maritime Alliance, representing ocean carriers and port operators for months, but the two sides have not met face-to-face since June. The alliance this week filed charges with federal labor officials calling out the union for refusing to bargain. More than 170 industry groups. Let's see what it's about. Two major sticking points are wages and automation. On wages, neither side has made their demands or offers public.
It's a big problem, by the way.
A statement from the union president suggested the union may be seeking a $5 an hour increase in each year of a 6-year agreement.
They say, wait, Brian, if a strike would cost $5 billion a day in damages if they go on strike.
So then they'll get what they want.
Well, okay, but all that lost $5 billion a day plus increase in salaries, all it's going to do is make the cost of goods that much more. People can't afford it. They already can't afford it now.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a big problem. It's a huge problem.
So you're saying they shouldn't strike?
I don't know. No. I'm saying,
Your mic keeps
okay, I don't know. What I'm saying is the result of this whole is a huge issue. And it's going to be another problem for the working class, the middle class, which eventually the middle class won't even exist. But it's a big, big, big concern.
But so then to me, this seems like this was, it almost is like strategically that they planned this for right now, a month before the election, because they have way more leverage, right? The federal government is going to have way more incentive to nip the shit in the butt.
But it doesn't
now than they did a year ago.
It doesn't seem like it's being nipped in the bud, though, unfortunately.
But I think with these things, it like always isn't until it is, right? Because they're always going to keep, like negotiations are going to keep going until they really can't anymore.
But either way, the problem we're faced with is that inevitably the trickle down effect is going to be huge because there probably will be a strike for at least a couple of days, if not more, and therefore there will be an increase in wages. So you have both ends of the spectrum with regards to economic damages, so to speak, or increases, which there is passed on to the consumer. So mom was
that's if the strike, but then
it's going to happen.
Both the workers and the ports are incentivized to settle before it goes.
But it doesn't happen that way. You know that. Okay. Secondly,
have the dock workers ever like had
yes, they have
successful? In like the 60s.
But it worked.
Right. But I'm sure there's been upsets since and they settled.
Well, I'm just giving. We're talking about hypotheticals.
Yeah, no,
but there's a threat right now, which is before us. And then, like mom was saying that, with shrinkflation, right? You know that we talked about that. So, like the dog food, we used to get 33 pounds for a certain dollar amount. It's just we pay the same now. It's now 26 pounds.
Or we pay even more.
Well, now it's the same. So she called up, says they're like, it's not us, it's the manufacturer. They're only putting out 26-pound bags at the same rate.
Yep.
People don't get it.
They do, but there's nothing people can do.
Well, there is if we change things. We've changed.
Yeah, but that's probably why they're striking, is for reasons like that. The fact that they say wages and automation, it's like that's what the whole, and the movie industry isn't nearly as big of a deal as this, are important to the fabric of society. But like the whole reason why the entire entertainment industry was on strike for like almost a year was because they were worried about automation. They were worried about AI and that shit. And that's what it says here, that they're worried. I mean, we can get to that point, but that makes sense that they're worried. I mean, a dock worker, that's the perfect thing for a robot to do. Why would you ever pay a man to, already we've automated half of it probably. The lifting up of the crates, the organization, right? Like an Amazon warehouse. It's like there's barely any people that have to run that shit. But if all these dock workers go out of, like, the jobs go away, that's a huge problem. The trucking industry is going to be next. Like, this is not going to be
yeah, I don't like
what's the word? Like
it'll become extinct, you think?
No, it'll become a commonplace thing. Every week a new industry will go on strike because they'll be like, we're under threat for our jobs, which of course they are. With AI and robots, of course. Everyone's under threat for a job. Even lawyers. Half of the stuff that you do, AI will be able to do in 5 years. Think about all of the paperwork. The research, the drafting, the motions, the stuff going, right? Like the stuff where you speak with your mouth. An AI won't be able to do. But eventually it probably will. But like the actual pen to paper stuff, it's like the drafting of a contract, really, a computer can't do that. It probably already can. And think in 20 years. 5 years ago, ChatGPT didn't exist. And now I bet I can get a fairly reasonable contract out of it in 3 minutes. Think about in 30 years from now. Think about in 300 years from now. Right? Why wouldn't it be so much better than you? You spend a lot of your time like going through contracts, redlining stuff, right? Like finding issues with it. Of AI would be able to do that in 7 seconds. Go through a 70-page document and find all the issues. You tell it, you tell it at one point, I want to find this, this, and this. Every industry is going to start going on strike.
And then what are people going to do all day?
What do you mean? If they go on strike?
No,
or if the jobs are out of business?
Right. What are they going to do all day?
That's the problem.
I know that. I know this. I'm just saying.
They don't want to not have the job. That's why they're going on strike.
I don't know if we'll ever get to that. That's my feeling. It'll be interesting.
What if what will ever get to what?
If AI takes over? I know it's very dangerous.
What does take over mean? I don't think it's going to be an overlord like Terminator, but we're already seeing it. Like there's so many things that you learned as a kid that you never ever have to use because it's offloaded. You never have to keep it in your brain because it's offloaded onto your phone or a computer. You're not like, oh, the contacts app has taken over because now I don't need to ever memorize contacts. It's just all saved in my phone. Right? It's like you don't think it's taken over.
I know, right?
But it's you don't have to do that anymore.
I don't remember my boys' phone numbers.
Right, but when you were a kid, everyone had hundreds of phone numbers just in their head.
You're right.
Because I was or like when you were a kid, you guys had to do math. Like you had to do simple math sometimes in day-to-day stuff. You would be out and you'd be like, oh, what is this plus this? No one does that anymore because it's offloaded to our phones. Everything is offloaded to our phones. So why wouldn't we just keep doing? Well, is that bad? Are you worse off that your phone does your calculations for you? Or do you think you'd be better off if you did mental math every time you were at the supermarket or calculating a tip or something? Are you worse off because you don't do that? Or has that freed up your brain to do other things because that's not really important? That's actually a waste of your time. To remember all the phone numbers, that's a waste of mental energy. Because why would you ever need to remember it? Like, what's the point of remembering my phone number? It doesn't matter. You always have your phone with you. Right? So are you worse off?
No, for that analogy, no. But I do think we know that it's very dangerous and a slippery slope as to what it can do.
It's dangerous. Yeah, I agree. And I think it's even more dangerous when it comes to like the loss of jobs. But then I don't know, it might free people up to do other things, right? Like if shipping is such a good example because it's such a big industry, but it's really menial work. The people on the ship, the people packing the stuff up, people unpacking, the people then taking those goods and driving them across the country. It's like there's no skill in that whatsoever. It's just a paycheck. So it's like if you cannot free that up, you have to be ready to find jobs for those people. That's the thing. It's a society. If you get rid of truckers and trucking related industries, gas stations and hotels on the side of the road and truck stops and diners and there's industries around trucking. But if you get rid of all of that, that frees up those people to do other things with their life. And it frees up our society. I don't need to worry about Dave falling asleep at the wheel because he's been on the road for 12 days.
And how will goods get across country or get to Europe?
Oh, self-driving boats and cars. What do you mean? We already have self-driving cars.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I don't know. I don't trust it.
Don't trust the computer?
Yeah.
But you trust the hillbilly driver who's been on the road for 17 days and has slept 3 hours a day, and now he's driving a thing bigger than a tank that's behind you, and if it wanted to, it could just run you over in your car and kill you in a second. You trust that guy who's extremely tired and sleep deprived?
I guess only because I'm used to it. I don't know. I think
there's a whole industry of law where it's just trucking accidents because there's so many of them.
I understand.
So why do you trust them?
So many considering how many trucks are on there.
Yeah, I guess relative, but there's a lot of there's more accidents than if there were no humans involved.
I know, and then people can hack into I don't know. It's when I see those self-driving cars, it's because I'm not used to it. Maybe your kids one day that will be the norm. It's very weird for me to see it.
No, it's definitely. Wait, talking to Mike more.
It's very weird for me to see it. That's why
it's definitely weird.
I don't know if I can get into a car that's self-driving right now. That would be a weird thing for me.
Yeah, but the trust,
but it
comes.
exists,
and like your father didn't really trust offloading all his mental work onto computers. Right? Like he printed out all this stuff. He did hand,
yes,
but
correct.
He just was like, I don't trust the computer to offload, to do my mail and and emails. It was just but you trust it, right? Think about you have all of your sensitive financial stuff, all this stuff just on there. People could hack into it. Right, that's your point. People could hack into the cards. People could hack into your everything, your bank, your work stuff easily. But you use it. You trust it enough to use it, right?
Because I don't have a choice. I have to do online banking at my own. But
you're not I don't. Distrust
I have
it.
Safeguards that I pay to have done to protect. But but it's still I'd be out of business if I didn't do it that way.
But you don't distrust it. You're not I don't trust this, but I have to use it. You're just I have to use it. And you trust it enough to use it.
Well, I have no. Yes, I don't think about it. I have no
and that's
choice.
What it's going to be with the.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I think there's good and bad. I have mixed feelings.
Definitely.
I don't have a 100% decision on one way or the other. I have reservations. I think there's positives, but it's. I
mean, it's coming unless it's inevitable unless the government gets extremely involved.
And then. It's bad enough that with the cell phones and social media, and we don't have enough human contact and eye contact, and people work from home, and your generation and generations to come, I think that it's one more thing for people to become more introverted. And Amazon, everything you don't have to leave your home to shop. Uber Eats, anything you need, you never have to leave your home. You can create your own avatar, your own bullshit, hide behind your computer. I think that's bad for people. I always have.
Yeah, I don't think a single person think that's good for people. I don't think anyone's on the other side of that issue, right? I don't think anyone's yes, it's good for society if everyone stays inside and does nothing and spends their time on social media.
But that happens a lot.
Yeah, of course.
And
but
Amazon,
I don't think people think it's good. Everyone thinks it's bad,
but people are doing it.
But yeah, but if why would automating all the jobs? Automating the jobs would argue it's a cultural thing. It's not a job thing. If you automated the jobs in Italy, right, and no one worked in Italy, people wouldn't be inside all day on social media playing video games. They'd be sitting outside, socializing, drinking coffee, right, because their culture is different. So if no one had to work, they don't want to work in Italy already. They barely work. They just do the bare minimum of work in Italy, right? Because they're just always socializing. They take 3-hour lunch breaks because they just sit and hang out with each other. So it's a cultural thing. If you automated all the jobs in Italy, they would be extremely happy, right? They would all just sit around.
What would they do for income?
Well, no, that's the issue you have to figure out, right? That's what a society has to figure out. Because the job automation is coming. Of course, that's capitalism. The only way that the job automation isn't coming is if you get rid of capitalism. You have to halt business decisions. Otherwise, every single business is going to automate because it's way cheaper because you don't have to pay people. Why would you, if you're a trucking company, why would you ever pay, you have to pay liability insurance, wages, health insurance. You have to pay all these things. If your trucks just drive themselves, you just buy 10 trucks and that's it.
And who loads it? Robots load it up?
Amazon warehouses are already like majority robots that are moving things around and everything. And they go get the thing for the person.
I can't even comprehend it. Honestly, I know it's done. They understand it. They implementing it. It's so far above my pay grade.
But if you change society around, and you just have to change the incentive structures, and I don't know. Then if you free up people that they don't have to work, could make things better.
I don't know. I think people with too much time in their hands get in trouble.
Well, no, it's not. But it's not too much time on their hands. People would be doing other things. Like if people didn't have to work, I don't know. You'd have to change up how the world works.
And
that's happened many times.
What's their source of income?
You'd have to change up how the world works. Maybe the taxes are. I don't know. People have proposed like a universal basic income that everyone gets a monthly fee for that.
Fuck that.
But that's also like if you don't want to work, right?
But then why should they get anything? You don't want to fucking work.
Because it's not even also if you want to. If you get rid of all the dock working jobs, because the private dock, like ports, that Port of Miami that contracts out, they employ, let's say 5,000 people and they automate everything. So now all those people don't have jobs and they're 40 years old and they didn't go to college. They have no other skill. Now they just don't have jobs. They can't really do anything. So they're fucked. That's not fair.
Well, that happens all, but doesn't that happen? What about the companies that went out of business because of the internet? They got fucked. Like travel agents or whatever it might be. I mean,
yeah, but that's a skilled laborer. A travel agent can go and do something else. And also there might not be that
What's the skilled labor in that?
No, well, it's like they probably have a college degree.
I don't know.
But like a trucker, that's the thing with a trucker who has spent 30 years just being a trucker and now is 50. They can't just go get another job.
Well, but I
guess they can at like McDonald's, but that will also be automated at some point too. So at a certain point, you have to either give out money or stop businesses from doing what they want to do. You have to do one or the other. Because if you let the business route go, right, you just say, we live in a capitalist society. These businesses are going to save money by doing this. And who are we as a country, as a government, to stop a business from making their own decisions that they want to do for saving money? That's capitalism. That's what America's built on. Okay, great. You go down that road and in 50 years, half of Americans don't have jobs. So then what do we do with those people? What do we do?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
So the only answer is you have to give them money. If the government is allowing businesses to force half of the labor force to never be able to have a job.
But the government is involved in what companies do now for the most respect. Where if they got to cut corners or get rid of employees or cost of goods are high or whatever, they don't get involved in that stuff. I know in certain instances where companies like automotive manufacturers or insurance companies where they might employ too many people, it might be too hard to let that company fail because of the impact it would have. That's a different story. But if they just get rid of an industry, I don't know. I hear you.
No, but it's different getting rid of eventually, if everything becomes automated, you're getting rid of an industry and you're closing one door and then the person turns around and every single other door is already closed behind them. There's no job they can get because all the jobs are automated. And a trucker who now, or let's take a different one, right? Like a nurse, let's say, because that's even more skilled a little bit, right? So that'll maybe get automated a little later. A nurse, let's say in 50 years, nurses are just all robots. It's just you go into a thing and you just get hooked up to a little thing and it reads your body temperature and the machine knows, they need this pill at this time. Boom, give it to them, right? That seems like it. What do you really need a nurse for?
Change your sheets. They need someone to wipe you, bedpan, put in the catheter. There's a lot of things you need a nurse for.
Yeah, but eventually that stuff can be automated. Why couldn't a robot do that?
You think a robot's going to be able to pick them up?
Robots build cars. Why couldn't it? Why
There's
couldn't
still
deal-
things even that they do parts of the car. Still things you need human beings for. I'm telling you.
Not much.
Yes.
And that's also now. 500 years from now, you think that robots won't be good enough to do everything. Like, so a nurse, let's say in 50 years, the job gets automated. Nurses don't really have jobs. So now that industry is shut down. And you're like, that an industry is just shut down. Okay, that happens all the time. What job can they now get? They can't go back to school and become a doctor. It's impossible. They can't be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to become a lawyer or a engineer. It's like, no. The only option they're going to have is a retail worker or but those are also going to be automated already. So they're fucked.
I don't think everything's going to be automated. That's my opinion. I don't think everything will be automated.
No, I'm not saying everything, but at least half will be automated.
But there's people that are working until the age of 55 and then they let go because something pivots or they don't need them anymore and things change and they're
right. But then what does that person do?
Sometimes they can get another job. Sometimes they can't.
Right. And when it's just here or there, the economy can withstand that.
No,
if
I
it's
understand
50%
that. I understand that.
of the workers.
Okay, and where's the money going to come from?
I don't know, but we have to figure this stuff out, and no one's talking about it. The Congress, this should be the main thing that they're focusing on. That's what this strike is about. They're saying we want to ensure that we have jobs.
How can they even ensure that?
Because you can make
I know, but that's such a tough. That's so tricky. It's not so easy. I hear you. It's just not easy. You can say, like, we want the Port of Miami. We work here. We want Port of Miami to sign a contract with us that they won't fully automate this thing until 2150. And then it's like, okay, yeah, at least then that gives us cushion. Because otherwise they're incentivized to automate as quickly as possible because it'll save them a lot of money. It's interesting. Let me tell you, this society's fucked. I'm just glad hopefully I won't be around to see it. I mean,
but why wouldn't you can look at it both ways, of course. You're looking at it just at the purely pessimistic way.
No,
you can look at automation optimistically. If all of our jobs are done by skilled robots and AI that can do things way better than humans can, everyone can have everything. The only reason why things cost money is because, one, someone has to make them, right? People have to make the money. But the reason why a car costs money is because you have to pay people to put it together. You have to pay the factory to keep the lights on. You have to pay for the materials that were then mined by another person, right, and shipped across the globe by another person. So you're paying all these wages across the way. If you're not paying any of those wages, the car's going to be $10. You're just paying for the raw materials. And those are going to be even cheaper because they're mined by robots. So it's like everyone could be able to afford everything. It could be like a utopia. Your phone wouldn't be so much because it's not people in China.
I don't like that.
Why?
I don't like that. I think that fucking, it shouldn't be a utopia, that false thing. I think it should be.
Well, wait, why false thing?
I don't know, because I don't think everybody should be
false.
I don't think everyone should be equal, same playing ground.
I didn't say equal. I said everyone will be able to afford everything. I didn't say equal.
I don't know.
If like a Coca-Cola is $2.50, let's say, right? You go buy a Coca-Cola and a homeless man on the street can go buy a Coca-Cola. You can both afford it. Are you equal? No.
No, I'm not talking about equal in that. I'm saying I think that I'm old school. I hear what you're saying. I don't know if I necessarily agree. I don't like it, but I hear what you're saying.
And then if I agree, like a lot of people will say, like and me and you probably included in this, like the point of life is you get your fulfillment from working and contributing to society.
Right.
But that's our society. The only reason we feel that way is because that's the world we live in.
Of course, it's based on who we are, how we were raised, our upbringing, what we do in our time, what we see. I get all that, but just like I don't see other cultures in other countries that I might not agree because I didn't grow up with that. I don't think personally it's good. Just like I don't think social media is good. Yeah, it's done a lot. The cell phones have done a lot of good things. Computers have done a lot of good things. I think there's the yin and the yang. There's a lot of bad stuff to it. And I don't, the way things are going with the lack of interaction, people having self-worth, I think you're going to see a lot more depression. When people have too much time in their hands, they get into trouble, so to speak. And I think that not having a purpose, self-worth, if there is a value when you work hard for something, you achieve it financially, or you could buy what you want to buy. You worked hard for it, and you look back and know what it cost and what you put into it. You value it, you respect it. When things are too easy and simple and too perfect, it doesn't have the same meaning.
Yeah, but that's also like a very modern American way of gaining value in your life. Like for the majority of the world, of history, of humans, there was no money even, right? Like you didn't buy anything. Like you're saying, when you buy something that you worked hard for and now you have this object, there's value in that. Most of history, humans didn't have any objects. You didn't buy anything. You lived your life on a little plot of land. You got up, you did the chores on it, and then that was it. You just stayed around with your family, just kind of ate. You just did your thing, socialized with the people in the village, went to bed. That was it.
But things are so much.
Did those people were they all unfulfilled and had no value in their lives? But they had no objects.
But Brian, now we've evolved differently.
No, we haven't. Our society has changed. We haven't evolved at all.
Okay, I don't agree with you. I think it's gonna be a big problem.
But within this lifespan, 150 years ago in the 1800s, you didn't really buy objects. There weren't really that many wealthy people.
I don't mean evolve like evolution. I mean like scientifically. Changed. I'm saying we've changed the needs. I think that.
Yeah, but this isn't forever, right? Like 150 years ago was pretty much the life that I was talking about. That was 200 years ago. It was definitely the life I was talking about for the majority of the world. So in 150 years, now we've changed to this. Why couldn't we, in 100 years, just have a completely different society that values things completely differently?
I believe we're going to at the way things go. I'm saying I don't like it.
But we just have to get ahead of it because then we can make sure that it's
I think it creates more room for more corruption, more depression.
And the thing is that's coming anyways, right? Like we have no choice. It's inevitable.
Business, I think it's going to create such a further separation between the real wealth and the not, and the middle class. I don't know when you need. I think again, just my opinion. You need to be occupied. I mean, otherwise, what do you do all day?
I agree, but I don't know. It might change. Like the tribes in the Amazon, those uncontacted tribes, are like how all humans used to live. Like they didn't do anything all day,
but now we do.
Kind of hunted a little bit.
Now we do though.
Okay.
So I think...
But what if my great-great-grandchildren never know of the world that we have?
I get it. But I only talk...
And they only know of a world of like leisure and just playing around because the robots do everything for you and you never no one goes hungry.
I hear it's so fucked up.
No one dies of an illness. If you get sick, everyone can get fixed, right? Like poor people now, they need a surgery, they're fucked. In 300 years, if everyone can get everything, right? Like, why wouldn't we strive towards that? I don't understand why you wouldn't want that. Where everyone can, not everyone has everything, but everyone can have access to everything.
I don't know. I don't see a problem with, but I think there are negatives to it.
Oh, I'm sure there's negatives to everything.
And my being old school, and I'm not saying I'm right, but being accustomed to what I'm used to and things like that, I think there's a big fear component of what damage it can also do.
Yeah, but do you think our current society
it's not
is
working?
Damaging?
Yeah, I think it's not working.
Or not even current now, like even 20, 30 years ago, even 50 years ago. It's a lot damaging to our current society. We've damaged the planet. We've damaged other countries.
I don't think that'll
stop.
We've
damaged.
I don't think that'll stop.
Yeah, but you're saying I don't want to do this future world because it could be damaging, and it's like, yeah, but our current world is damaging.
No, but okay. Remember, I told you it's just one line out of a whole chapter. I'm talking I'm giving examples, general things. I'm not looking to dissect each word that I'm saying. I'm just saying that I understand the good it can do, but I also think there's some serious aspects that I don't like, and I think it will be just like social media.
Just like social media, there's really not many pros.
Okay, let's call it the internet. Not social media. Let's call it the internet. The internet has a lot of pluses to it and a lot of bad things to it.
Yes, but if today, if you had the power to keep the internet on or turn it off forever, you'd keep it on.
I would turn it off.
No, you wouldn't, because then you would make way less money than you do.
Why would I make less money? Mine's a local
You're way
area.
more productive because of the internet.
Why?
If you didn't have emails, are you serious?
Phone calls. I would do a phone. I had it beforehand. I don't know if I agree with you on that.
No. Yeah, you did have it beforehand, but you don't think you're more productive because of the internet? Really? You don't think that?
But when I grew up, we dealt with fax machines.
I know, but when you grew up, I agree with you, but I'm saying, okay, so I guess the question is, I'm asking you, you would be okay with having to work, way less efficient and making way less money.
I think the internet's a problem with our world. I think there's a lot of positive to it. I really do. There's a lot of positive, but it's just, I guess that's with everything. I'm not a big person on change. You know, I like my routine. That's just who I am. I think there's going to be, I agree with you. It's not, we have no control. It's not,
we do have control.
No, okay. My point is, it's happening.
I don't know, but we can, if enough people, like this strike, if enough people start being like, we are fighting against this, we don't want automation, that can change. That can certainly.
I think it's going to happen either way. It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but like even the idea of like big business, right? Because like the fear with automation too is that, you know, it's just like the hands of a few companies will become really big.
Correct.
Going back to antitrust, to bring it back to that, we started the podcast. We were like, the only reason these antitrust laws started was because there were like
the consumers, right?
Yeah, there were like 5 companies in the 1920s in America that owned everything. That was it. They owned everything, and that was capitalism.
Almost like happening now.
Right. And so that was full on just capitalism. Standard Oil owned all of the oil in the world. All of it. They were the biggest company in the entire world. They were like more powerful than the government themselves. And enough people were the workers of that company were like, we're not making enough money. The people were like, this is bad for our society that one company is owning all of this. So enough people were like, hey, government, we need to do something. So they created this Sherman Act, and they were like, we're making laws, and they broke up all these companies.
I haven't heard of the Sherman Act in years.
But they broke up all these companies into a bunch of other companies and said, hey, this is not allowed anymore. And it's like, yeah, that's not capitalistic. But it was good, and then it made everyone flourish after that, right? Because now it's like Standard Oil that owned all the oil. Now it's like a bunch of people can get into the oil industry and make a lot more money instead of just one person. That's a huge change. You would never think, oh, we can take down Amazon, right? We think they're too big. That how could we ever, as Americans? But if enough people get together, we could certainly be like, okay, hey, we are going to make it illegal to do any automation. No more. We're all okay with a little higher prices.
I hear you.
No more robots in the factories. No more machines. Hand make everything again. Like that can be done. It's not out of the realm of possibility. We can all say social media, we all agree it's bad for us. We're making it illegal. No more social media, put the companies out of business. The government did that with we've done it so many times with bigger industries. Well, not bigger than social media, but they did it with the alcohol industry. It didn't work. It backfired, and they brought it back. But they literally they shut down every alcohol company, which were huge companies. They just shut them down, the government. The cigarettes, every single American smoked cigarettes in the 50s, 60s, 70s. And then they were just like, nope, outlawed. Make the tax extremely high. And now no one smokes cigarettes. If they were like,
True.
No, all these factories, you just need to hire humans to be in it. That's it. Everyone does. And yes, your car is going to be a little more expensive, but.
Interesting. We'll have to see what happens.
No, I mean, that's what we have to actively do. But no one wants that. Government and industry doesn't want that.
Right now. And it might
industry
be
would never want that. But you have to stop the industry. But that's Marxist, by the way, to stop it.
So let's call Kamala's father. All right, on that note, Bronny.
Okay.
Love you. Everyone take care. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.